the screen. We will talk about the prediction game, but before we do so, we have another guest. It's one of those great episodes where we have multiple guests, and we do have another guest here to join us. And this is a former Orange County Soccer Club player, a player that is now doing more stuff out and about in the soccer world in Southern California. That person is Mr. Harry Forrester. Harry, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. How you doing?
Doing amazing. Thank you for taking some time to join us. For those that are maybe newer fans with Orange County, Harry played a couple seasons with us back in the. How long ago was it now, Harry?
I believe it was 2020 when I finished. I think I finished during COVID is when I retired. So I joined you guys back in 2018, 2019 season.
Awesome. And so he played a couple seasons with Orange County, and now he's still continuing on that soccer journey, but now in a role of developing soccer talent in and around Southern California, especially in the Orange County area with Prospect Soccer Academy with one of your good friends, Rob Kiernan. Harry, we'll talk about your time with Orange County maybe in a little bit, but share with us, what is Prospect Soccer Academy and how are things going, or what's going on with you guys at the moment?
So Prospect Soccer Academy, we are a full-time soccer academy. So when we moved over into the States, myself and Rob, obviously we both played for Orange County, and we kind of realized that there wasn't a real system the way that we grew up at home in the UK, where you have your education and your soccer training under one roof. So, over the last couple of years, we've been really working on that. And now we have a full-time academy where our students come, they do their education online. So, we're getting that element done, and then we train 2 hours on the field with them every day. So they're getting their technical work every single day, improving players in and around Orange County, and, looking to eventually, break out into other parts of America.
And so again, you mentioned this is something coming from England. You came out here, you and Rob noticed that there's nothing like what we had back home. Have you looked into that or done any research on that? Do you know why that is the case? Why there's not that similar type of development structure and education structure stateside?
No, I haven't done too much research or too much digging into it. I think, IMG done it over in Florida. They're probably the biggest, most well-known company that do that. They produce some great talent. I'm not sure why, but we definitely saw a gap in the market with it, and it was a way for us to really, really hone in on people's development and players' development. Just through the sheer hours we get throughout the year. They're with us every single day. We're doing 2 hours just technical work every single day. So just by pure compound, these players are getting a lot more exposure to playing the game of soccer.
And these players, let me just get a better thought on how this works. Like, are they playing? Like, do you guys have like your own team that plays, or do these players study and train with you, and then they have the freedom to go play with whatever organization they want to play with for their actual competitive soccer?
Exactly. So we're club neutral. We don't participate in any games. We're a kind of additional supplement to help the clubs in a way. We're helping their clubs, we're helping their players get better, and also it's somewhere for students to go, like-minded students who are interested in really trying to go far in the game, whether it be at collegiate level, whether it be pro. But we will always probably remain club neutral to try and just help the player and the individual themselves rather than branch off and partner with any clubs. Back to your question, we don't play any games. It's just solely training. So it's Monday through Friday, and then they go off to their teams on the weekends and they participate and they play games with their clubs.
All right. Got a question from Larry, who for some reason is not here tonight. But any players that we should be looking at for the future coming out of your academy right now?
Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got a couple that are good. We've got a mixture of boys and girls actually. So we take, we're co-ed. We have male and female players. There's a couple players that are with us now that are with LAFC who are who are decent, albeit still very, very young and early in their development, but they're showing all the right signs. And we've got also a couple girls that we have high hopes for that can continue to push. Um, Amelia, Bella, two to name that we feel that could really make an impact. Like I say, either at collegiate level or professional level.
Got it. And then Harry, not to make you give away your secrets, that is, but what's your favorite drill as an academy director that you're putting these kids through?
Um, well, if you've seen me play, you kind of know my game style. So anything crossing, finishing, anything goal related, I'm normally the one to be doing that. And as you guys would know, my business partner and best friend, he's more on the defensive side. So we've got a good balance of what we do. But yeah, I'm definitely more inclined to be doing any sort of attacking, shooting drill, anything creativity wise, and Rob really takes care of the other side of the game for the students as well.
Awesome. It's lovely that you mentioned him, Harry, because he is here in the show. I'd like to bring on one of the men who helped us raise a trophy in 2021. Got a red card against Colorado Springs, if I remember correctly. That was definitely needed to keep us in that game, and eventually would go on to be in the finals and win that trophy. Mr. Robbie, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you guys. Sorry for the delay. I had a bit of a technical issue getting on with the microphone. Harry can he can probably admit that I'm not the best when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I do apologise for the lateness. But yeah, things are good. Thanks for having us on. I just heard Harry give you the back end of that, and yeah, everything that he said is totally spot on, and we're very very balanced in what we bring to the kids in terms of the attacking and the defensive side of things. So I think it's a nice balance for sure.
Awesome. Robbie, we asked the same thing out of Harry. Moving on from a soccer playing career is never easy. But obviously, you guys found your niche moving into kind of the space that you guys are in now. Kind of walk us through, end of your career and what led you guys to wanting to create this academy together.
Well, unfortunately, we both had to retire due to injury. It wasn't something that we kind of were expecting so early on in our careers. We still were relatively young when it came to retiring at 32, and Harry was 31 at the time. So unfortunately, circumstances presented themselves, and it was for us. It was how do we replicate what we did as kids? So the model in the UK is to adopt the hybrid learning slash training that under one roof kind of facilitates development. And I found, and unfortunately, we just felt like the development here could be, accelerated a lot quicker if there was a bit more structure and a bit more of a intentional game plan in place. So that's kind of what we did. It's not a fine-tuned model where, we have to, expect the unexpected. We have to make sure that we're always evolving, even with the education and with the training itself. So, look, we're still learning as we're on this journey, but I think what we've got now is a nice foundation, and I think we're seeing the results. And we're really really proud of all the students that we've got and the families that have sort of bought into the vision. And unfortunately, we'd love to help everyone, but there's only a certain amount of players we can help.
Awesome. A question for both of you guys here. Obviously, we have the Open Cup going on right now, with a lot of academy teams, a lot of younger teams, and kind of nobody teams that qualify through the Open qualifiers. Uh, is this something that you guys want to explore in the future? Kind of start and field teams in this competition, given that it is kind of the same thing as the FA Cup in England back home for you, or is this something that you guys would say to your players? Go test what's out in the market there and see if you guys can put on a best show in the Open Cup here.
Rob, you want to go and answer that?
Yeah, I think from our perspective, the FA Cup brings memories. I mean, Harry had a really good run, and it was just an opportunity to go and play against higher level clubs and teams, and being in an arena with maybe higher caliber players. But I think from our perspective, look, we're completely club neutral when it comes to our own players. We have players attached to all of the clubs locally, and obviously with Orange County being our former team, we want these guys to to go and excel and go and give a really good account of themselves. Which, you know, even we took the kids to the game I think 2 weekends ago now, and every time we go back there, the club just grows in stature and the fan base is, you know, continuously growing, and even just little details around the stadium. I think it just looks like a professional club that's, you know, again probably in a position that wants to compete with the MLS teams, and I think they can do that. Obviously with a little bit of luck along the way, as always. But yeah, the FA Cup back in England is such a prestigious event, and it's such a good opportunity for young players to go and showcase themselves against, you know, high quality and caliber players.
I had a quick question. Is both of y'all are very involved with, you know, the academy, and I'm sure y'all are very involved with training the development of the players. Which of the two of you do the players tend to like more, or uh, you know, go to more in that likability role, and which one is the one that try to avoid upsetting because they're going to get an earful?
They definitely like Rob more than me. I'll put it that way. I'll be the first to say that. He's good cop, I'm bad cop, and that's the role that I kind of took on, and the role that Rob took on. But um, they're good kids. They're really disciplined. They know what the outcome is. You know, they all want the same things. There's no one that really rocks the boat too much. But you know, we also have to remind them that they're young professionals in a way, and we try and treat them like young professionals. We give them a lot of leeway. We give them a lot of respect, a lot of encouragement, but also, you know, just like the real world, that there are things that aren't going to be accepted when whether they leave and play at a professional level or college level, or whether they, you know, excel in business and they go on to do great things there. You know, there's rules and there's policies in place for a reason. But definitely, to answer your question, I think Rob's definitely the fan favorite when it comes to the kids, for sure.
You know, you got to have that. You have to have a good cop. You have to have a bad cop. It just makes it work really well. I'm glad both of you are willing to take on your roles that you're taking on to do so. Let me move on a little bit to sort of soccer in general. Obviously, over the last few months, there's been a lot of news for U.S. soccer. Obviously, there's a sort of battle between MLS and USL. USL announcing they want to go first division and they want to introduce promotion relegation. MLS is partnering with a lot of the young club teams around the country to try and sort of build out their base. In both of your opinions, and you all can have different opinions too, like, is there a right or a wrong way, or which one do you feel is doing it maybe the better way for the game of soccer? And if you don't want to answer it, by all means, you don't have to.
No, I would love to answer that. I think it's important that there's an infrastructure which promotes competitiveness, and I think there should be rewards for clubs that, you know, consistently perform at a high level and they perhaps can get promoted into a higher level. I think that offers players more value to fight for, you know, something, as opposed to knowing that, well, even if I finish bottom of the league next year, I just still get the same contract and I still have the same position. And, you know, it's a franchise, as opposed to, you know, where we're from, it's genuinely, at times it can be a difference between, you know, some of the lower league players paying their mortgage or not. And with that brings a whole different hunger and a different appetite. And also with the fans, it's like, you know, they have the ability to see their club grow and, you know, promote themselves through the league. So me personally, I think it has to come in. I think it has to be also putting respect on the players in this country. And I'll give you an example. So we tried to actually take one of a really good USL player back to Europe. Me and Harry both had very, very high opinions of this player. We would put our own reputation on the line for this player. And unfortunately, we got met with, "Hey guys, look, we appreciate and respect that you guys have a real good insight to this player, but he's just not playing at the level. He's not respected enough." And it was frustrating for us because we actually felt like that's such a shame that this player will never get the opportunity that we feel he could absolutely go and flourish in. And I think if there was that a little bit more competitiveness and they had these leagues that had a bit more infrastructure, and the leagues were taken a bit more seriously, that's when I see this country really now evolving in the game of soccer, because there's undoubtedly the talent here. The volume of players here, it has to now start getting the recognition it deserves, in my opinion.
I just think, from my opinion, it stops anyone down in tools and not giving 100%. You know, towards the back end of the year when they might not be playing for anything. You know, at home we was playing for something, whether you're chasing a championship or you're fighting not to go down to the next league below you. So all year round, there's something to play for, whether you're at the top or the bottom. So that creates a competitiveness from day one to the last day of the season. I think maybe here, if you're not fighting for that championship spot, are you giving 100% to the right till the end? And how easy or how hard is that for the league? Let's say position one are playing position, the last position team. Are they giving 100% because they're last and they want to see the season out? Whereas if in England it would be, if last was playing first, last are still going to give everything they've got because they're going to try and get out of the relegation zone because they're going to go down, they're going to lose money, they're going to lose revenue. There's a whole different dynamic to it. So you get that competitiveness just naturally because you either want to win a league or you don't want to go down. So you're going to be giving 100% to the end of the season for sure.
Awesome. And you all mentioned, you brought up sort of the atmosphere at Championship Soccer Stadium recently with Orange County. Obviously, when you all were playing, there was still a good atmosphere, but it's continued to grow. I mean, we've been around since 2018 and we've seen the growth from 2018 to where it is now. And it looks like a totally different stadium, even though it is literally the same stadium that has been there this whole time. What are your thoughts of how things have gone and, with what the club has been able to do to grow the game? We've talked about on our show with competition, so much competition for people's dollars, hard-earned dollars in Orange County. And what would you like to see more of from the club?
I just think, when we were there, me and Rob obviously both come from Rangers at that time, via a couple of other clubs, but we had literally maybe a year prior just come from Rangers, and we did a lot of community work outreach within that. We were always asked to go on player appearances, be in the community, spread the word. And that's at a club like Rangers where you don't really have to do that. It's a big enough club to really get fans, right? So that's one thing I think when we come here, we noticed we weren't really doing as players. I feel like now a lot more the players are in the community more. They're meeting young fans. They're spreading the name. Orange County Soccer Club is well known now. I remember when I first moved, a lot of people still didn't really hear about it. They were like, "Oh, there's a pro team at this great park," and at times I had to break it down to them how it works and stuff like that. So as the game's evolving and people are getting more familiar with it, I think they're really buying into the community aspect. I think the club's doing well at recruiting young. So now we're starting to see, the teenagers turn to young adults that were 4 or 5 years ago who now, take it serious and want the club to do well.
Yeah, definitely. And something just to add to that, I think obviously even just the attendances the guys are getting and the events the club do, and I know that Dan, they do a lot of work with the media staff and trying to just generate revenue and income through different avenues, which is great and creative. But I think also just the actual experience as a fan. I mean, we look at it now from a different perspective. There's so much amusement going on, and there's things going on with the beer tents and whatever else might be there. It's a way that just builds community, right? And I like, listen, we always got such high respect for the club, and Pete doing a great job. He's trying to bring in young talent. We know how the model works within the club, and some older boys now in the team who I think are going to help, get that structure and get that balance. So yeah, look, we're big fans. We want to see the club do well. We've got no other feelings other than just seeing it with a little bit of a proud moment as well. We both enjoy some good times there, and it's a good part of our career that we enjoyed.
All right. So you brought up a little bit about the club and sort of the scouting of the club. So I'm going to do this. We're going to do a little fantasy game with the two of you. You all are going to get to start a USL First Division team, and you get to pick one player from Orange County Soccer Club that you're drafting to be that first player for your team. And I'm going to give Robbie the first choice. So if he picks yours here, you'll have to think of a different player. Who do you pick, and why are you picking that player as the first player to represent your team?
I have to go for my boy Kyle Scott, of course, because I think he's a magician with the ball. I think he's got great creative kind of balance and skill. I love the way he plays, and I know that he's a big part of the team right now. So he's got good age on his side as well. So there's plenty of years left for him. And of course, he's a fellow Englishman, so I have to give him a shout out.
All right, Harry.
You had to pick your friend, huh?
Yeah, I had to, mate. Sorry.
Um,
Politics, huh?
I'll go for your new captain, Tom. Tom Brewer. I think Rob will like me saying this, but having a good centre half who can control the back line and also control the rest of the team is vital. I think it sets the tone. I think having a leader back there is someone that you can build off of and have that standard where he can lead and players can respect him. So I think I'd start with Tom and build from there, to be honest.
Hey, two great choices in Kyle and Tom. You can't go wrong with those ones.
It might be because they're English, huh?
Hey,
Yeah.
it's interesting though, because you could go for the leader that's going to be relevant and help you right away, or you can look at one of the younger players that you're like 5 years from now, this guy is going to be a beast out on the pitch for us, and you all both went for the known entity, the quality that you're going to get right here, right now. So that's awesome to see. Before we let you go, I want to just give you all an opportunity to just share more information for any of our listeners that are interested in learning more about Prospect Soccer Academy and about Harry and Robbie. Where should they go? How do they look into more info for this?
Yeah, so if they want to find us, it's www.prospectsocceracademy.com. They can take a look at the website. We do summer camps all summer long with Nike, so you'll see us around Orange County, Lake Forest, Laguna Niguel, San Clemente. So we've got summer camps running all year. And then obviously if you're a little bit more serious and you want to really, really improve on the game, then come and check us out at the academy where we're doing shadow days and stuff so people can come and really feel and see what we do. And we'd love to have people down. We really want to sort of develop the talent here that's in Orange County and give everyone a good chance of fulfilling their dreams and making it in whether it be MLS, USL, Europe, or even a real good D1 college. So check us out, hit us up on Instagram, and we'll definitely get you guys down.
Definitely. I'm sure some of our listeners, if they're not already, involved or have already looked into it, I'm sure some will be doing so in the near future. Well, I want to first thank, I know Rob dropped off the stream here, but I want to thank Rob, Kiernan, and of course yourself, Harry Forrester, for taking some time to speak with us on this episode. It was fun. I appreciate your honest answers about everything. And we look forward to maybe getting y'all back again in the future, and we can see where the growth and what your Prospect Soccer Academy has evolved into at that point. And obviously it's always great to see you all around the stadium at an OCSC match as well. So thank you, Harry.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me, guys. And no doubt I'll see you around the Championship Stadium in the near future.
Awesome. Once again, legends for Orange County Soccer Club in Harry Forrester and Rob Kiernan. Great conversation, gentlemen. I enjoyed. I enjoy this. I know our listeners probably don't know anything about this, but I know I've spoken with Dylan and Brad and producer Andy about this. I've always wanted to reach out to former players and see if we can get them onto the show and figure out what have they been doing since they played for Orange County Soccer Club. And appreciate someone like Harry and Rob for taking some time to do that and share their story and what they've been up to.